This is major breaking news. We have top U.S. military personnel coming out and giving emergency warnings for the U.S. government, the U.S. economy, and the U.S. national security are all under threat right now. And a top U.S. major just came out from the Space Force and gave this emergency warning that we are in danger and we need to change things very soon before it's too late. All right, we also have these very strange and suspicious posts coming from official government recruiting Twitter accounts and X accounts. All right, this is happening right now. The U.S. Space Force recruiting account is also posting very suspicious things and very strange things about our banking and how we need to get our money out and how there could be attacks on U.S. satellites. All right, all this stuff is happening right now, and they're getting us ready for some kind of big cyber attack or cyber event on the banking system. That's what I'm worried about. And in the aftermath of all this, there will be a CBDC, central banking digital currency, that is implemented and is used to track and trace and essentially enslave you. That is what we are on the precipice of right now. That's why gold is surging. If you haven't been following gold, and if you haven't been listening to my advice like I've been saying for years, to stock up on gold, silver, copper, lead, brass, you know what I'm talking about. All these things are going to be more critical and more valuable in the future, and gold is reaching all-time highs right now. It just broke the record. It was over $2,100. It went down a little bit, but it is spiking right now. People know that there is instability in the economic markets, in the monetary system, in the bond markets. All these things are collapsing right now, and you need to be getting yourself ready because the aftermath of this collapse is going to be devastating. It's going to be chaos, potentially riots in major cities, and even potentially martial law scenarios could be declared if things get out of control too much. All right, so let's dive into this news here really quick. I want to hit this Twitter post, this X post that was posted by the Space Force, which is a military branch. This is a real military branch brought in just a few years ago under Trump. All right, and this is one of their official recruiting X Twitter accounts, and it links on their official website, spaceforce.mil. You can link to this Twitter account if you go to careers, and this Twitter account is linked on their official website. But I want you to just look at some of these tweets, and then we will get to what this U.S. major is warning of as well, because it's an extreme warning and a national security warning. But look at these tweets by the U.S. Space Force. Very strange. I'll put them up here on screen for you guys as I'm looking at them. Make sure you can withdraw your money from the bank one satellite at a time. This was 2 days ago by the U.S. Space Force, and this is a real account linked on their official Space Force website. All right, I double checked this stuff because they don't have the blue tick, but this is an official account. All right, guaranteed. It's on the U.S. government Space Force website. Links to this account, and you can see here under careers for recruiting. And it says, the people's quotes, it says, Guardians explaining how the Space Force controls ATMs. Not even sure what that means. That's news to me. The Space Force controls the ATMs. I'm not sure what any of this stuff means. It's very cryptic, and I'm worried that they're getting us ready for something big to happen to the banks and the monetary system. You've seen all these cyber attacks. There were dozens of banks and credit unions that were offline just a couple of days ago. I made a whole video on it. Here's another one that this is a thought that people are having, realizing no one would have access to their money without Space Force satellites. This is a post posted just 2 days ago. Very suspicious, very strange, and it says, make sure you can withdraw your money from the bank one satellite at a time. And then with this warning that the Space Force major just gave as well, this is very suspicious, and we need to be on high alert. You need to have cash and have physical access to some of these things. I know you can have gold bars. I mean, some Costco was selling them. All right, maybe you can, but that's not realistic for most people. But have gold coins, silver dollars. All these different things are going to be valuable in the future if we have a currency and monetary collapse. And here's one more tweet from them just yesterday as well. It says, golf ball or snowball? Neither. It's a radome. Its purpose to provide a protective barrier to guard important satellite equipment in an emergency, right? Like a solar flare, an EMP, these things, that's what that would protect it from, this satellite equipment. So, and they just posted that yesterday. So something is going on, and we have this top U.S. Space Force major as well coming out. And Space Force is critical because they monitor all the satellites. They monitor cybersecurity. They are on top of all these things, and satellites are critical to the GPS. The military owns the global positioning system that is actually owned by the U.S. military, and it's overseen by the Space Force. They oversee all the satellites, everything. SpaceX, they monitor and oversee all of these critical infrastructures and resources. And it seems like they are warning that something big is going to happen. Some kind of EMP, some kind of cyber attack, some kind of CME, solar flare. All of these things are on the table right now to wipe out our electric grid and wipe out our banking system. All right, let's get into this warning here. This is a warning from U.S. Major James Lowery, and he is saying that the United States needs to transfer to a proof of work system, a cryptocurrency system similar to Bitcoin, to combat the coming hyperinflation that is going to hit our currency, and to protect us in a national security sense, to protect our documents and our military communications through the blockchain and things like Bitcoin. All right, he's saying that Bitcoin could be a alternative for the US dollar as the US dollar collapses. And he's saying that the US military should be encrypting all of our documents and all of our communications through the blockchain and these proof of work systems, so they are less vulnerable to cyber attacks and cyber intrusions. All right, all these big things are going on in the background right now. There's a lot of change happening. Gold is skyrocketing. Bitcoin is skyrocketing right now. All of these alternative forms of currency are going up because people know the US dollar is insolvent, and they know that if there's another major war or another major lockdown, then it's going to be over. We could have hyperinflationary scenarios in the US, and mix this with all of our sanctions and all of our power wielding that we've been doing with the US dollar, as well as the reserve currency. All these other countries have slowly moved away from the dollar and have been trying to find alternatives the past few years, and they are diving into things like gold, silver, precious metals, and cryptocurrency. I believe it was El Salvador, the entire country, I believe, is now using Bitcoin as their currency. All right, all these different countries. Argentina, they just got a new president, and he's saying they are going to abandon their currency for the US dollar and make that their currency. All right, so there's all of this movement and all of these monetary changes, and we're on the verge of a very big collapse. And once it does collapse, they're going to bring in this new system, this cryptocurrency system, and they're saying this is the key. This is how they will combat inflation, and everything is with this CBDC. They're presenting it as a solution when it could be used to enslave us. If you didn't see my video yesterday, they just passed beast system legislation. Beast system legislation just passed yesterday, or just recently as well, and I made a video on it yesterday. This stuff's coming. The beast system is coming, and once they have complete control of the currency, there's no other way to buy or sell anything with cash where you're not tracked or traced, then you will be locked out. You will be locked out if you don't think the right way, if you don't believe the right way, and eventually groups will be targeted. Religious groups like Christians along these lines will be targeted as well in the long term. We know what this beast system is, and we know what it entails, all right? And they are trying to implement this stuff right now. So the solution to this, everyone wants to know, what's the solution? Get your own physical gold, get your own physical coins, get on the land right now, all right? We are about to close on our homestead in just a couple weeks, and we're going hard. All right, I can't wait to get seeds popping, stuff growing in the ground, get my rows going, get greenhouses going, get even more chickens. All right, I still have chickens in my RV here, and I can't wait to start growing even more food. All right, the key is to not be dependent on this system. So when they force the CBDC on us, we can say no. We can opt out, and we have alternatives, and we're not just left flat-footed and can't run away, because they want to catch people off guard. So when it all collapses, when you wake up, there's a hyperinflationary scenario, then you have no other option. Everything's so expensive. There's so many shortages. There's so many empty shelves that you are forced into their dystopian system. And this happened in places like Venezuela, all right, where there would be extremely rich people driving Lamborghinis and the nicest cars you can imagine, and they would be going to luxury markets and have the best food, but it would be super expensive. It would be $100 for strawberries. Okay, so only the super elite could live normally. And then 2 blocks away, there were hundreds of people, thousands of people. Sometimes you would wait in line all day long and not get any bread ration or get any food, and you just have to start all over again, right? This was the situation in Venezuela just a few years ago. People were eating their own animals, their own dogs, eating zoo animals, all right? I've reported on this stuff many times, and I remember these articles vividly coming out because it's sad, it's dangerous, and this could happen here, and that happened from a hyperinflationary currency, all right? That's happening in Argentina right now. They have over 100% interest rates. It's like 110% interest rates in Argentina, all right? Just imagine, we're struggling here with 7-8%. Imagine if our interest rates went to 20, 30, 50, 100%. It would be over. And it's not unprecedented to actually have interest rates. It's not unprecedented to have interest rates at that level, at 10 to 20%. All right. I remember my mom telling me when she bought her first home that interest rates were around 18% for her. All right. And she would wait in line to get that. And that was a good deal. Things were a lot cheaper back then. It was a different ball game, but we could see these interest rates jacked up even higher, and we just get stuck in this cycle where the interest rates are going up, but it's not bringing inflation down. It's just making the inflation worse because we've already printed too much money. There's too much money buying too little goods. All right, so let me know what you think below. What are you doing to get stocked up and get prepared right now? The key is to get off of this grid, get off of this system, to back away from it, and to say, I do not consent. I do not consent to this. I'm saying that myself personally right now. I do not consent to any of this. I do not want this. I do not want a banking collapse. I do not want a central banking digital currency. I do not want a cryptocurrency. I think it's fine for investments, whatever you want to do, wherever you find value for yourself, that's great. But as a forced system, a crypto system, I do not want that for my monetary system. I do not want everything tracked and traced. And even Bitcoin, all the transactions are tracked. It's a proof of work system, so they have to document every movement. It's anonymous, okay? It's anonymous wallet IDs and numbers, but IP addresses were anonymous at one point too. All these things, telephone, there used to be anonymous telephone booths where you could call people. All those things are gone now, all right? So in the future, it will not be anonymous. There will be a ledger of every single transaction, and every movement of currency to any party will be on a ledger, and it will be tracked and traced and documented to your digital ID and your digital government wallet, all right? So make sure you're getting stocked up. Make sure you're getting prepared, all right? We could see a big attack on the banking system. Major attack. You saw those tweets that I showed you. Those are just strange and don't really make any sense. It seems like somebody is signaling, somebody's warning that something big is coming. All right, so please hit it up for me down there to help get this video out to more people. All right, please get yourself prepared, get your family prepared, get chickens, get seeds, get microgreens growing. Even if you've never grown anything your whole life, try to grow some microgreens. All right, try to grow some lettuce, try to grow anything. All right, get these skills under your belt. Try to pop a seed, try to grow stuff from seed. That's the key. That's the skill that inhibits a lot of people from growing, is popping stuff from seed. And it's easy. Just don't really bury it that much, just a little bit. Keep it nice and wet and allow it to dry out a little bit as well, just a little bit, not completely, and then keep it wet and water it from the top. All right, you can do it. Anyone can do it. Get these skills under your belt right now so you are prepared just in case we see a monetary collapse. All right, so thank you guys so much. I hope you have big blessings for your life and your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.